Hey guys, welcome back. Of course, more PSA cards. Why not? So, without further ado, here we go. So I don't have a lot of these of this type. I kind of wish I did. One, because of their value, and two, they're kind of cool. And this one really isn't in great condition, so sorry, just pulling them out of the sleeves. So we have a Legendary Collection Fireworks Electrode. Now, right off the bat, you can see that there is quite a few scratches around him. How hard they're going to grade, I don't know, but there's also some uplift. It looks like some sort of stain of dirt that won't come off. Yeah, that don't want to come off. Oof, that's unfortunate. Oh, maybe it did. Oh, a little bit. Still really cool to see from a distance. Great looking, mainly just because that hollow foil pattern really covers everything up. There's a nick here, scratches all along it, sort of like a corner upraise here and a corner upraise here. It's got a lot of the waxing removed, stained. It's got edging all along it, but we're going to send it in anyways. We're thinking somewhere along the lines of a 3 to 4, and we're just going to go with it. Hopefully we're wrong, but we're thinking 3 to 4. And then following that electrode, up next is a classic. It is a non-hollow shadowless electrode. Only way to top that off more is it being first edition. There looks like some sort of stain or dirt or ink at the top right there. Nothing too much wrong with the rest of it. Some sort of ink and stuff on the edge there. A little bit of stains here and there. Centering looks to be pretty good. A little bit off, I guess, top to bottom. Left to right looks solid. A little bit of stain there. How's the back? The back's in pretty good shape. Not really much whitening besides this corner and this corner. And that's actually it. Little itty bitty tiny stuff there. Centering looks pretty good. We'll say 8 to 9 for this one. Granted, the PSA probably grades harder when there's no hollow foil to grade against, but we're still going to say 8 to 9 for this one. Might be a little generous. We'll see. Next is something that is hollow foil. I think everyone really liked this cat, specifically Giovanni's. I always thought it was funny that for the Gym Series they had a Giovanni when they also have it's actually not called Team Rocket, it's called Rocket, just Rockets blah blah blah, as a gym trainer. The centering is off left to right and top to bottom. It's very thin on the bottom and the right. Although the hollow foil looks to be in perfect condition, so that's pretty good. Some solid swirl right there, 2 and 1. But the centering is pretty heavily off, so that's going to suck. The rest of everything on the front looks great. Is the back good? There's an itty bitty tiny whiting neck there, but the centering's so bad. It's hard to say whether this is an 8 or a 9 just because of how much it's off. We're going to do a flat guess of 9 because the rest of the card is in great condition. But if it wasn't for the centering, we would say 10, even with that tiny white neck. But that centering that is some really bad centering. It's really crazy too because it's a Japanese card, and normally they don't have that issue. Up next is another gym trainer card. It is Sabrina's Venomoth, non-hollow. Actually, I don't know if they made a hollow Sabrina's Venomoth now that I think about it. Correct me if I'm wrong. Centering is great. That's fantastic. No nicks on the fronts. Top or bottom or sides. That's good. That's good. How's the back? Tiny whiting there. Ooh, that's a rough corner though. That's a rough corner. We'll guess 8, see what happens. 10 would have been really good. With the centering and everything, would have been a strong possibility. But with that corner being so beat up, it's a pretty noticeable corner. Following up is a first edition non-hollow Jungle Venomoth. So get him out. See a little dirt up top. Will it come off? I don't always advise this because you can scratch off wax and do your own damage. But if the dirt comes off easily, then I kind of advise it. It's a little bit thicker up top than bottom, but nothing crazy. some more stains. They don't want to, oh, there we go. That's pretty good. Came off. There's some stuff here and there. It's nothing crazy. The back's a lot worse than the front. Whiting all over it. Oof, we're hitting the 6 to 7 territory, but it is first edition. If it was first edition hollow, I'd definitely say 100% worth it. With it being non-hollow, it's a hit or miss, but we're going to say 6 to 7. Next is a hollow non-first edition Venomoth. Look at the hollow foil. Minor scratches. It's nothing too nuts. Minor. Centering's pretty much good. There's like some dirt and stains and a little bit of silvering on the front. Nothing nuts. Oh, that bottom line's a little rougher than I wish. Back, whiting here and there. A lot of whiting along the bottom. Centering's still good. We'll just say we'll say 6 to 7 for that one, which is kind of rough to hear, but it is what it is. If we can't sell these 6 to 7s, maybe we can use them for trades down the road or giveaways. I noticed how everyone excited when I said that. Alright, up next is one that should definitely be worth it regardless. It is a first edition hollow Venomoth. And I think this one was in pretty good condition last time I looked at it. So let's get them out. It's a first edition hollow Venomoth. There is some scratches up in the hollow foil. It's not an insane amount. It's more than I wanted, but it's not an insane amount. Centering is pretty solid. That's good. No real edges wear. There's a little bit of whiting on the back. A little bit of whiting there. Centering gets a little bit more off in the back than the front. Some whiting there. We'll just say a solid 7. And that's pretty good with it being, first edition holographic. Granted, it's not like it's a first edition holographic Shadowless Charizard or anything, but it's a first edition hollow Venomoth. Next is another Venomoth, hollow Jungle Japanese. I know, we're just going through all them Venomoths, aren't we? I wish I had more. It's hollow foil, looks to be pretty much perfect. That's fantastic. Centering's pretty good. A little bit heavier on the top and bottom. Other than that, still really good. The back. Oh wow, there is some whiting. That's surprising. There's some whiting here and there. More whiting than I was expecting. Dang. It's a surprising amount of whiting for how well the card is on the hollow foil. I wonder what caused that. Interesting. We're going to guess maybe just a flat 8. It's actually really hard to tell with that one. So we'll just do flat 8. Next up is a hollow Neogenesis Japanese Metal Energy. Nice hollow foil right there. Really cool hollow foil pattern. It looks like it's got, oh, maybe that's not bleed because the thing isn't necessarily part of the energy. Is it bleed? Oh, there is some there, so maybe it's not bleed. I don't think it's bleed. I think that's intentional. Maybe it isn't. That's really hard to tell. I don't think it's bleed. Not too worried about it. Centering. Looks good to me. How's the back? Oh yeah, it's good. It's good view. Oof, yeah. How's the back? That basically came right off. A little bit of whiting there. Everything else seems to be solid. We'll say 8 to 9 with this one. It's definitely, it's not, I want to say it's definitely not a 10, but it's not a 10. But we'll say 8 to 9. It looks so nice like that. It's a really nice background. I do wonder if that's a bleed or not, though. We'll say 9. Next up is another non-hollow. It's first edition, so we're all cool. I was actually really surprised to see that Dark Raticate is a common instead of an uncommon. That was surprising, but first edition. Little thicker up top. A little thicker on the left, I think, than the right. It's really not too nuts. Everything seems to be pretty good. minor whiting. We'll say 9. I think nine's a solid guess. Eradicate is just one of the ones that, you know, he's probably not going to be worth a lot, but, you know, first edition, send him in anyways. Older card. Next up is another Eradicate Legendary Collection. Fireworks Hollow Foil. This one should be in better condition than the Electrode was. There is still some scratches here and there, but no really corner upgrades, which is pretty good. Some deeper scratches. It would be nice to get one of these in perfect condition. Centering looks good. Centering on the back looks good. Whiting on the corner, not too much here and there. We're just going to say 8. As I said, it's really hard for me to tell with these because of it's really hard to look at on the front in terms of trying to find stuff. I always love this one attack because it's a question mark equal to half the defending Pokemon's remaining HP. Becomes kind of a useless attack after a while to do constant halves. It does round up to the nearest 10. We'll just say, I think, 8. Because that corner is a little more atrocious than we want. Alright, up next is a base set Pidgeotto. I did have a Shadowless one. I believe it was first edition Shadowless, and I used it a lot as a kid and played the heck out of it, and never should have done that. Centering looks good to me. Rest of the card looks pretty good. Some whiting. We're just going to say 9 for this card. If it wasn't for the whiting, we'd say 10. Everything on it seems to be pretty good. We think 9 is solid. Would be nice if it was Shadowless and first edition. I didn't beat the crap out of it. Next up is base set 2 Pidgeotto. Non-hollow, should go without saying. A little thicker on the right than the left. A little bit of stains here and there. Everything else pretty good order. I always told as a kid, these were second edition, you know, compared to first edition. Not that it was a whole nother base set. Some whiting. Some more whiting and some corner rays. That's pretty rough. Looking at the 7 to 8s here. I never noticed that as a kid that the base set 2 cards, or I think I noticed but I couldn't make sense of it, the base set 2 cards literally had a whole extra set of Pokemon number to them. I just didn't understand it. I believe we said 7 to 8 for him. And it's okay doing certain non-hollows, because there's certain non-hollows they never made hollows of, so it's okay to grade non-hollows. You know, it just makes more sense to do ones that they didn't make hollows of. So we've got a Mega Slowbro EX, which was silly to me that they stopped here for Mega and they didn't do a Mega Slow King. But as far as I'm tracking, you know, a lot of people will say Slow King is the max evolution, but then you have other people who will say literally actually that Slowbro and Slow King are the same level of evolutions, just one has the shell on their tail and one has the shell on their hat. I will argue and say Slow King is the higher evolution, mainly because King is better than Bro. It is off-centered, top to bottom, left to right, but nothing crazy. The rest of the card's in really good condition. Same thing, left to right, top to bottom. The rest of the card's in really good condition. We're going to say 9 to 10 because you are allowed an allowance. There is a tolerance allowed for off-centering and still get a 10. So we will guess 9 to 10. Just really the only issue we saw with this was the centering. Next up is a Dark Slowbro Japanese. Pretty solid looking card. Pretty awesome. Has a really big Pokeball thing. Has a Team Rocket guy in the back. Fantastic. One of the cooler background cards for sure. Centering's pretty solid. Cornering's good. Just minor scratches. Super small scratches right there on the Team Rocket guy, on the hollow foil. Nothing too nuts. No bleed that we can see. No whiting. We're gonna guess we'll say 10. We're gonna say 10. Whether we're right or not doesn't really matter. PSA doesn't know what we're guessing unless they're watching this video. But we're gonna say 10. I think that's solid. Next up is a pretty cool card, and to add to it even more is it is a no rarity symbol version. So if you don't know, this is the Banned in America Sabrina's Jinx because it resembles blackface too much, and it is a no rarity symbol, Sabrina's Jinx. It is off-centered, nothing nuts. The rest of the card, actually I pulled this out of a deck, so it is in perfect condition, fantastic besides the centering. Centering on the back is better than the front. It's funny how that happens sometimes. We'll say 9 to 10. But yeah, this is a banned card, so that brings it notoriety. This is going to be like a PSA 9 to 10. That's going to add to it. And then it is a symbolist banned card, so that adds to it. So that's pretty fantastic. Next up is symbolist. Neogenesis Japanese Holo Foil Meganium. Sorry. Leaf Bro. Pretty cool Holo Foil. There is some scratches, so definitely not a 10 right off the front. Possibly 9 though. Some corner upraise. Centering's fine. Symbolist. I am tracking that the ones that come in the binder come symbolist, but we'll see if they'll let us put it down for the rarity. Okay, so maybe not a 9. Now we're looking more at an 8. There's some back scratches. There's a dent on the corner. We're gonna say, we'll say 8. Hope for the best. We really don't know how the grades are going to go, to be honest. The PSA to me is being really kind of risky with what they're doing. You know, they didn't email me the ETA for my PSA orders. However, they told me that they're working on it by hiring, you know, new people and opening up a new facility. The facility doesn't bother me, obviously. It's the new people. Are they going to grade harder? Are they going to grade more lenient? I think we're going to see a lot more lenient grades. I think we're really going to see the fall of the PSA. They're going to, this is like glue that's coming off. Whatever it is, it's coming off. So I just think we're going to see a big downfall in the PSA. Hopefully for some of us for the better if we catch it right before people realize that the grades are way easier than they used to be. That's not coming off. So that kind of hurts. There's dirt and stuff on it. I'm kind of looking at the 7s already. Now we got some whiting, looking more at the 5 to 6s, 4 to 5s. We'll say 4 to 6 for this one. It's first edition, non-holo, but you know we'll still send it 4 to 6. Once again, we'll either sell it, use it for trades, or use it as a giveaway. Got your attention again. This next one is in a special sleeve, so I am going to change it for a penny sleeve. It is a Hollow Jungle Jolteon, so I'm going to trade out this, it's a Zamazenta sleeve with a penny sleeve, and we'll use those sleeves as a giveaway for another day. All foil looks fantastic. Some super minor scratches. Centering looks good. Minor nicks here and there, super minor. I think we're still in the 9 category, to be honest. That whiting's rough. Now we're in the 8s. Ooh, the bottom's so bad. The bottom's so bad. Someone threw like a pencil to the back of it. 6 to 7. That is rough. Even then, that's probably being generous. Ooh, whoever took that pencil to the back. Ooh, not my friend. That is rough to see. We're gonna send it anyways. Up next, I think a lot of people really like Gengar. I really like Gengar. I think he's a solid. Like people prefer him even more so than Charizard. Just Charizard as a value to him. Alright, so Fossil Gengar. Some scratches all along the holo foil. Centering solid. That's good. Minor silvering, but it makes me think there's whiting on the back. It's kind of funny that Gengar has weight for being a ghost-type Pokemon, in my opinion. Centering's off on the back. Minor whiting. Some scratches in the wax. Maybe just 7? That might be high. We'll say 7. See what happens. Well, I guess this centering's a little off here and there. 6 to 7. Alright guys, that includes our PSA video for this. And then hopefully we send these in and probably get them back from the PSA in probably like year 2030, something like that. And go from there. You know, a lot of these were not beautiful cards. And that kind of comes down, you know, in terms of the fact that there were quite a few that were below the 8 mark, in our opinion, in our grading standards. You know, if you're just collecting and you just want something encased, you don't need to go with the PSA. You can really use anyone you want. Reason why I go with the PSA, they used to do a pretty good service where you can get the quarterly specials. We'll see what happens come January 1st, what we can land for quarterly special. But you never know. Other services probably do the same thing. I haven't really looked into them too much. But I'm looking at services that are really starting to pick up. I think the one is CGC or CGGC. They have the little blue label for their thing. They are really picking up, in my opinion. I'm starting to see a lot more of those cards on Facebook Marketplace and eBay. And I think I'm surprised that I'm seeing more of those and not more of BGS in comparison to the PSA. To me, BGS is, you know, better than the PSA in my opinion. I haven't serviced anything through BGS, but I have held on to a BGS card that I bought and sold, and it was pretty well done, in my opinion. If you do want to add value to your cards, and they are, you know, worth something, PSA them or BGS them. But if you just want them encased and get a grade and you just want them collected, you can really use any of the graders. You can use Mint Grading, CGGC. There's quite a few out there. They probably won't add really value to your card, but they'll encase it and it will make it look nice, and it will add a level of protection to it. And it will give it a pop report, at least based on that company. If that company grows up, you know, maybe it will add a value to your card depending on which company you use. But I'm really suggesting BGS. I think PSAs don't have a fall here. I went with PSA because they were easy to use and understand. BGS is a little bit more difficult for me to understand, but I'm certain once I start diving into the process come late 2021, I'll start to understand them. PSA has really kind of shown me where they lie. They don't lie in terms of caring for the people who are actually sending them the cards in. They're really only there for the money. They've done no sort of retribution or ETA for those who they have failed to meet contract times for. This is just me ranting, guys. There's no giveaway after this, I promise. I don't know if I would really suggest the PSA unless you're getting some sort of amazing deal. Or maybe you'll be the only one to have a pop report to the PSA. I really suggest BGS. That's about it. Thanks for watching. I know I've done a ton of PSA videos. I've got more. Hang in there, guys. I need my cards to come back graded so I can sell them, so I can buy new stuff and do new content. It's kind of hard to do new content without making money from specifically the hobby you're doing, or just making money in general. I'm not a millionaire. It is pretty difficult. We like doing the giveaways. That's the other reason why we need these cards to come back graded and sell, so we can do giveaways. And if they're really not worth selling, as I said, there's a good chance we'll do some PSA giveaway cards. However, the subs or competition will probably have to match. We've had some easy giveaways. They were trying a little more difficult. They were trying a little more random here and there. We appreciate everyone playing. We appreciate everyone who subbed. We appreciate people who comment. Also, make sure you guess the grades. late comment to say here should be known. Guess the grades. Have a good day. Enjoy.